You know that feeling, right? You've got this amazing idea, this project you're passionate about. You tell yourself, I'll start later. Well, today we're going to talk about why later is pretty much the most dangerous word for any great idea. We're going to see why the only time that really truly matters is right now. I mean, we've all done it, haven't we? We're waiting for that perfect time. You know, when the stars align, when the market's just so, when our skills are finally good enough. But let's be honest with ourselves. What does waiting for that perfect moment actually mean? You know, the thing is, high achievers, they get something really important about this whole mindset. This constant waiting game, this endless search for the perfect time. It's not about being smart or careful, nope. It's just a fancy word for procrastination, and it almost always ends up in the exact same spot. And that's the tough part. It means you never even start. That's the cold, hard truth of it. Waiting for perfect means your awesome idea just stays locked up in your head. It gets all tangled up in what-ifs and never actually sees the light of day. But successful people, they know this. They don't just endlessly circle an idea for years. They pick one and they go. Okay, so let's break down this first big hurdle, what we can call the perfection trap. It's this belief that your idea has to be totally polished, completely flawless, and, change the entire world from day one. But guess what? That's just not how anything great actually gets made. Not at all. And understanding this is so freeing because it lets you off the hook from these impossible standards. Look, your idea doesn't have to be some flawless diamond right out of the gate. The timing, it's never going to be perfect. And it doesn't even have to be something the world has literally never seen before. It just means one little thing. It just has to begin. That's it. That's the whole secret sauce. Just taking that first step. But, okay, I can already hear you thinking, but what if I've missed my shot? What if it's just too late for me to start? All right, let's just tackle that excuse head on right now. This myth about starting too late, man, it's a powerful one, but it's also one of the easiest ones to totally bust. Let's look at some real-world proof that's going to completely flip how you think about your own timeline. So, seriously, ask yourself that. Do you really feel like that window of opportunity has slammed shut for you? Well, I'm about to introduce you to a few people who would have a lot to say about that. How about this number? 44. That's how old Sam Walton was when he opened the first real Walmart. Think about that. He wasn't some kid in a hoodie in Silicon Valley. He was a guy who'd been in retail for years, saw his chance, and he took it. Okay, get ready for this one. 62. At an age where most people are planning their retirement parties, Colonel Sanders was just getting started with Kentucky Fried Chicken. He had a recipe, a whole lot of grit, and proved that a killer idea can take off at any age. 55. That's how old Arianna Huffington was when she co-founded the Huffington Post. She completely changed the game for online news and built a media powerhouse, all starting in her mid-50s. And how about 40? That's when Henry Ford started the Ford Motor Company. And get this, it wasn't even his first rodeo. He'd failed before. But all those earlier attempts gave him the know-how to finally nail it. Last but not least, 43. That's when Reid Hoffman co-founded LinkedIn. You know, that little site that's now a massive part of our professional lives. He built that long after the first .com bubble had burst. So just look at this lineup. I mean, these are absolute legends who defined their industries. And what's the one thing they all have in common? They weren't obsessed with being first or being young. They were obsessed with starting. For them, age was just a number on a calendar. The action, that was everything. All right, so we've shot down the perfection myth and the I'm too late myth. So now what? How do you actually, do this? Let's break it down into a super simple, actionable playbook. Just 3 steps to get you moving. And it really is beautifully simple. Step 1, pick one idea, not 5, not 10. 1, and base it on a real problem you keep seeing around you. Step 2, and this one is so crucial, start before you feel ready. Just get a rough, messy version out there into the world. And third, stay flexible, be adaptable, because that first version is never ever the final one. It's just the beginning. Which brings us to the real heart of the matter, the power of now. See, an idea that only lives inside your head is, well, it's fragile, it's weak. For it to get strong and actually become something, it has to get out and face the real world. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? An idea is just a guess, really. It only starts to become real when it bumps up against reality. When you get feedback, when you talk to actual customers, when you fail a little. That's how you find out what people really want, not just what you thought they wanted. So really let this sink in for a second. Think about where you were this time last year. If you were waiting for the perfect time back then, and you're still waiting today, what's going to be different a year from now? Probably nothing. That clock is always ticking, and the perfect time is just a mirage. It's an illusion that's costing you the one thing you can never get back: time. So I'm going to leave you with one final, and I think most important question. Not what you'll do tomorrow or next week or when things settle down. No, what will you start today? What is one tiny step you can take on that one idea right now? Because in the end, the people who changed the world, they didn't wait, they just started.